Ma'am, you are on mute. Jinal, ma'am?
Ma'am, you are on mute.
Sorry. I just realized I was on mute. I'm so sorry.
No problem, ma'am. Please start the program.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Women and Young Members Excellence Committee of ICAI, it's my pleasure to welcome you all to Yashaswini, an Ideal series and the 68th session of it. Yashaswini is a Wednesday series programs conducted by the Women CAs. This series is an extension of Sky High Symposium, which concluded its 100 episodes. It's one of the committee's initiatives not only to disseminate information to women members on technical and non technical skills, but also to empower and inspire the women members to come in the forefront and realize their verbal skills at public forum. I would now like to introduce our first speaker for the day, CA Aparna N. Rao, a chartered accountant and a certified information systems auditor, CISA, brings rich experience in capital markets, banking, risk management, auditing, and taxation. Co-founder of leading CA firm and a mentor advisor at Tiny Magic, she drives digital transformation and empowers women to re-enter and excel in their careers. Over to you, Aparna ma'am, and we are really excited to listen to you.
Thanks, Gina. That was a very nice start to the whole session. I know I have another 45 to 50 minutes, so let me straight away jump into the topic. As I share my screen, do let me know once it is visible. Gina, that will help. Okay. This is my presentation. I'll go on. Yeah. So the topic I've chosen to speak to, hope I'm audible. My background is clear.
Yes, ma'am. Perfectly fine.
Yeah, thank you so much. So this is my favorite topic, Gen AI, and this is a game changer to not just to our profession, but to the entire world. If we say internet has been one of the most radical game-changing experiences in our recent times, if we consider mobile and smartphones, Gen AI has overtaken all of that, and in a matter of years, it's ruling the roost. It's taken over the entire world. It's disrupting business, the way business is being done. It's disrupting education, disrupting science, and most obviously our profession as well. So should we miss this bandwagon? No. We have to catch up. And that's the reason why I pick up every possible forum to speak to all our members about how important it is to become adaptive to changing needs in the world of which is now today Gen AI. We know AI, which is artificial intelligence, but now Gen AI is the most happening buzzword. So let's get into the topic. I'm assuming it will be a mix. The audience should be a mix of people who are very adapted using Gen AI, people who are dabbling with it, and people who are beginners. So let me quickly give you an introduction. Introduction is just to let you know what it is, but we'll dive into real use cases where the actual benefits we will reap as members of this profession. Okay, so what is it? It's a field of computer science. And how is this different from the multiple applications that we use? That's what I would like to speak to all of you here. Artificial intelligence specifically, it tries to mimic how the human brain works, and why are we using this? Obviously to solve real world problems. And if AI is a universe, Gen AI is a subset of the entire universe. You could call it one part of the planetary system here. The beauty of Gen AI, from the very word you will guess, it is generative AI. It has the beauty of generative AI is it has the ability to develop new content from the existing intelligence it already has. There are multiple AI models. Let's not get into that. That's too much of information. Gen AI today is able to, from the existing information which it already has, it's able to create new content and give it to you. It could be in the form of documents, it could be in the form of music, could be in the form of videos, audios, name it, it's capable. It can code for you, it's able to generate. You give it a situation. See, you know what, when my practice, this particular client of mine, let's say fixed assets inventory, my client has got my offices in multiple locations, and he sits in his head office and he likes to oversee how his fixed assets are, whether they are in the multiple 50 different branch offices, whether they are put to use, are they really in there? He can't physically go and do it every time. If that is the problem he or she has spoken to you about, then can we consider Gen AI? Can we use it? You as a CA, you need not have to code. That's again the beauty of Gen AI. This is the part I would like to focus my attention on. It codes. Gen AI is able to code for you. It generates music for you. And of course, all of you would have tested this part of it, which is creating documents. Then images, right? And it also makes lovely videos. So this is just the history. To people who believe that Gen AI is pretty recent, from it came with a bang in 2022, but it's been morphing over the years from 2010 onwards. And let's quick look at, I've given very simple use cases where CAs who just want to start off with using Gen AI, what are the opportunities? Obviously, under the 3 different categories, which all of you would know, it's a straightforward case. But as an entrepreneur, what new services, this is what excites me. Can I shift from my rule-based, regular, audit-based, income tax knowledge-based mindset to, can I shift myself to something more entrepreneurial? Can I look for opportunities, not just for myself, but for my clients as well? Can I look for new opportunities and discuss that with them, come up with opportunities for them? That's the most exciting part of Gen AI. What are the tools which is available today? ChatGPT, all of us know. This is Gemini, all of us know. This is from Google. Claude is a very powerful, another powerful LLM. These tools are all called LLMs, okay? And this is Copilot from Microsoft, DeepSeek from China, Grok is from our Mr. Elon Musk, Perplexity again from Arvind Srinivas of India, and Hugging Face is an open source platform where you have multiple open source LLMs which are available, which you could try without paying much. Because these are all paid versions, and they do have free versions. They are all freemium ones. One certain part they give you free. If you want to make a video in Sora and ChatGPT, you need to have a paid subscription. You want to create VO, the video part of Gemini, you need to have a subscription. You know what I thought? Instead of talking to you, this is what ChatGPT does, this is what Gemini does, why don't we look at just one use case? Okay, let's look at this simple prompt. I'm going to share screen with you. We will do something called vibe coding. I don't know how many of you have heard the phrase vibe coding. I'm going to introduce you to this new concept, which still even the IT world is still catching on. But as CAs, I'm sure you're probably one of the earliest to even know what vibe coding is. I hinted while talking in the previous slide, generative AI means it generates new content for us. What can it do for us? Like I said, it writes documents. It can create documents for you in the form of, it can write poetry. It can create course content for you. Could give a detailed analysis of a case history or any income tax citation which you've read. You ask it to summarize and give it to you. It will do that for you. The recent RBI guidelines with respect to bank audit, it will pull it out and give it to you. All these are basic, plain, vanilla job which a Gen AI can do. I thought, why not show to you another beautiful feature, which is writing code. You and I, as professionals from this profession, at least I have shied away from coding. I believe that belongs to the tech world. But today, the generative AI is democratizing writing code as well. You and I can create code without knowing one single word of code. How beautiful is this? What a kicker it is. So let's take this prompt. I'm going to copy the simple prompt. Okay. And I'm going to give this to Gemini. This is Gemini. Okay. I'm going to give this here. And I'm going to the canvas. I will explain what canvas is. So now, this is, what is this? Create an amortization schedule with the term rate loan amount as input fields in a slide. What do I mean by slide? I'll show that to you. In a bar format. Now, as it writes code, let it write the code for us. So I now have a techie on my desk. I don't need to go ask someone to write code for me. It's doing it for me here. Okay, as it does this, I will show some of the features of ChatGPT, which probably many of you are already familiar with. Let me pick up a new chat. So if this is ChatGPT, all of us have access to. Sora is where you can create beautiful videos. You just give it a prompt and it does this. And all of you know that, right? All of you would have played around with Ghibli or Ghibli images, given your picture or someone else's picture and said, make it into, convert it into a Ghibli image. Or you could have asked, make it Amar Chitra Katha like. People have experimented with that also. That has also worked. So that's this part, okay? Now let me go to the main feature of ChatGPT, which you and I will probably be using on a regular basis. So this is the prompt bar here. What else do you see here? Just click on this. Probably all of us have been doing photos and files. There is an agent mode, there's a connector, there's deep research, creating image, and more. Probably most of you don't have paid version. Mine is a paid version, but I can tell you what a free version can give you. It can do a web search. What's a canvas? Canvas mode is where it specifically does a lot of analytical reasoning. It does a lot of coding. It does a lot of logical work. And this study and learn is the most beautiful, which I like, which all of us can do. OpenAI, which to which ChatGPT belongs to, they saw people, especially kids, were studying. I'm sure all of you know how your kids are studying these days. So just give the content to ChatGPT and say, give me the answer. OpenAI saw that this is what the kids were doing, but are they really learning? So this study mode is very, very apt, very useful. I would like to ask one of the panelists, just give me any topic. Give me any topic you want to learn. It need not have to be only with related to the profession. It could be anything. And let's see how this study mode is a guide. Anybody, any takers? Megha, Grishma, Pradnya, could any of you unmute yourself and ask a question? Or you can't, is it? Okay. Since instead of making it interactive, what I will do is I will just say I need to understand what LLMs are. Have you already? See, now the question it is asking me is, okay, fine, I'll help you out, but please be specific. What do you want from here? Have you already studied AI concepts like neural networks, machine learning, or should we start from scratch? Let's start from scratch. So it begins very from the start of the whole thing. What is machine learning? What is a large language model? If regular MLs is teaching a student to recognize shapes and numbers, LLMs are like teaching a student to read, write, and hold conversations in many subjects. Here's a question for you. If an LLM is trained on billions of words from books, websites, and articles, what do you think it learns from all that text? The exact answers or patterns in how many words are used. Let's take a shot at it here. Patterns, let me say if it's patterns. Which words often appear together? How grammar works, okay? They don't memorize. So this methodology is called predicting. This is called predictive methodology and not absolute. So I can go on with this. So this is one particular feature. With the limited time that we have, I'm very eager to showcase whatever I can to all of you. So this is the study mode. Let's go to a new chat and look at something else. Deep research. Again, this is something as CAs you all can really make use of. Let's pick up something. Recent amendments in the insurance industry globally. This, if you had to do a research for one of your clients in the past, it would have taken a lot of time for you, but this will give it to you in another 10 or 15 minutes. Clarify the time frame and scope you're interested in. Are you looking for specific year or range? 2022. USA. I want to know what's happening in USA, in Europe, and in India. What are the other questions it's asking us? Regulatory, technology, or policy-based? Very good question. See, when we begin, we don't get into these many aspects logically. We just begin, and as we progress, questions come up, right? So at the start itself, to give direction to the research, it's asking us these questions. Should I say all three? So let ChatGPT do this research for us. Let's see what Gemini has done. I will, for the time being, shut this window down. Not shut it, allow it to continue doing its research. We'll go and see what Gemini is doing. Here. Say the loan amount, since I just used the word amortization, it's assumed it's the US market. So if the loan amount is 250,000, interest rate in US being 5.5, and assuming it's a 15-year amortization duration of your loan, then the monthly payment is $2,000 if the principal amount is 250 and total interest. See, it's done the entire chart for us, how you'll have to pay. I can change this. I can reduce the loan amount to say 100, 90, 100, okay? And now it does the entire monthly. What's the principal? What's the interest? We would have taken some time to do this in an Excel sheet. This is done immediately here. Can we enhance this even more? Can we try that? We'll go to that. I'll add an even more detailed prompt here for us. I'm adding one more level of complexity to my prompt and see what happens. Let's try. Now, what I have asked is, hey, this is good. Nowadays, if you see, most of the apps people are using on a mobile phone rather than on a desktop. So I thought, why not make it usable both on the desktop as well as on a mobile phone. So I've given it this instruction, which is nothing but a prompt, and then it's working on it. Let it do this work for us. We'll go and see how the research is progressing on the insurance sector. Okay, it's covered barely 12%. See the detailed sources it's going into. Once this is done, I will come back and show this to you. Let's go back to our presentation. So what we've now done is I've told you what are the LLM tools that are available today. Then we've progressed to the features of Gemini and ChatGPT. ChatGPT, I've showed you the study mode. In Gemini, I've showed you how the coding works in Gemini, how it writes code for you. You don't have to know any form of coding. The beauty is, as a CA, you can identify a problem situation, right? You don't have to know, in this scenario, should I be using this database or should I be using Java or Python? That's not your worry anymore. So long it was the tech people's worry. But now, these tools tell you, you just give me the problem statement. I'll come up with the solution. And then you can ask it to, no, give it to me in Python. No, I want it in Java. Front end has to be HTML, JavaScript. Back end, I would want you to use this database. We can go on, use MongoDB. No, I don't want the regular, the DB, which is there in vogue today. You can go on making variations. So we've seen the learning mode. We have seen coding. We've seen how pictures and videos can be made both in Gemini and ChatGPT. Probably one question coming up from people's mind would be why you've chosen ChatGPT and Gemini. You showed us Grok, you showed us Anthropic's Claude, but why are you not using that? Well, these are the most commonly used ones, coming up with a lot of features. And I will walk you through a few more use cases. And if you believe that it is worth investing in a monthly subscription, then you could choose either of the two. It is mere recommendation from my end. This vibe coding, let it happen. Let me we'll give it a couple of minutes while it does the code. And just to inspire all of you, I started working on Gen AI since November 2022. And this is a set of use cases which I've picked up to show to you all purely for CA from the CA perspective. Okay. There are even more use cases I've tried. See, this is companies listed on the stock exchange. You have the annual reports, which is 10K and 10Q reports. So one client wanted a tool which will do a complete analysis of the financial reports. And this was an IT client. So they said, I want to know what offerings I can proactively go and present to these IT companies, to all the companies which are listed in the stock exchange. For instance, it could be a healthcare vertical company. It could be a company which is in retail like Nike or a Gap or any of these companies which is in retail. By studying the financials, let's say one instance of stock or the inventory is pretty high over a period of 4 quarters, over a period of 2 to 3 years. What is the signal it's giving? Only a CA will be able to identify the signal. Stock piling up, too much of stock being held, cost of inventory is pretty high. So what is it that a CA knows this and is aware of this? So CA pulls up these opportunities. I would call it opportunities. It's a problem for the client or the prospective client, but an opportunity for a CA. So stock is high. Then what do? You tell this IT services client of yours, hey, you know what? Their stock is pretty high. Their working capital is pretty high. So which means there is a lot of opportunity to make them work on their operations. Operations needs to be streamlined. Maybe an ERP has to be brought in. We don't know. You could proactively go and tell them, I did an analysis of your balance sheet and your financial performance. So this is what I think you need. That will be a very proactive thing to do for your own client or a prospective client. And analysis of the mutual fund industry. I've created a tool. Whenever I want to make an investment, I don't have to go Google and keep looking for multiple options. I will ask this agent, we call this an agent of mine, to give me all the, if my risk appetite is pretty high, I may say, give me a list of all the small cap funds. It'll give to me. And then what is the TER? Who's the fund manager? What is her history or his history? All that information, it'll give it to me in the click of a button. Likewise, if this is for mutual funds, this one is for stocks performance on NSE and the BSE. This is revenue optimization. This is something which we created a tool for an IT services company. I know, this arbitrage is where most of the IT companies in India thrive on. They are onshore and offshore. The variation in the cost is where they make their profits. So we made an onshore offshore calculation with just basic Excel data, and GenAI gave him very useful information. And I am responsible as the CISO. I am responsible for my organization's ISO certification. I've created a guide. So that guide, I just have to follow those instructions and I am ready for the next ISO audit. SharePoint, again, Microsoft SharePoint. This is something which I was not very adept at a few years ago. So I created one guide for myself to learn. Now, as I speak to you, I'm thinking I should make use of the study mode to learn more on SharePoint or Power BI or anything. And this was another workshop assistant. All of you now know most of the tools today, there are so many tools available, in which before you join the meeting, otter.ai especially, it's a free version here, 45 minutes, it will be there in the call. You don't even have to go, it will sit there in the meeting, listen to everything, take the entire transcript of the call. And if your name is being called out and if anything has been assigned to you, it will make a note of all of that and come back and give it to you. So this workshop assistant we created for a client who had clients in Europe as well as in USA. The meetings were in English. So this tool, this workshop assistant, what it did was, it took the entire call transcript, converted into German, French, made 2 different minutes of the meeting. Minutes of the meeting were done in 3 different languages, English, French, and German, and mailed it to the people who are participants in the meeting. And I created a voice-based assistant as well for a retail store. Now I'd like to show to you a demonstration of the computer vision. I'm sure a few of you may have done the AICA course. Some of you may not have done, but I would urge all of you to do it. The course is definitely going to cover in-depth analysis of how GST reconciliation you could do, what Tally can do. So anyway, that course makes all this available to you. So I thought, why not shift focus onto the computer vision capabilities? Let's do a quick demo of this. This is my retail lens I have created. So okay. So this is my retail lens stock taker. What this does is, you can find it on the GPT store. What it does is, there are multiple use cases for it, right? What are the use cases? I initially spoke to you all about documents, coding, music, audio, and video. This is called, when an LLM is able to offer all of this, it refers to multimodal capability. So I am tapping into exploiting this capability of GenAI. So what am I doing now? I created this agent, retail lens. I've called this the retail store lens stock taker. What is it going to do for us? See, most of the times you will have to do different kinds of audits, stock audits, right? Let's assume there are retail stores like in India, like Max, West Side. They have plenty of stock. And you, instead of you being physically present in all these shops, you could send your assistants. Okay. And these people could, and these are the situations when this can help us. Stock audits for banks, concurrent audit of banks, and internal audit, you can use it. So these are the situations, and for tax audit, you could use it. So I made an analysis and found out that this tool of mine, for these kind of audits, it can be used. So let's go to the demo of the tool itself. So here is the tool. What I will now do is, I'll just add an image. I'll do this once again, just to demonstrate to you. What it has done is, I've just given it an image, okay? So what you can see, what is visible to all of us here is, it's some books, right? This is all the image says. See, let's assume your assistant goes to the store, picks up takes a photo of what is there on the shelf and runs it through this tool. So this tool, what it does is, it reads completely row-wise. What is the name of the book? How many books are there? When you look at this, we can see about 9 different, 3 rows, 3 columns, so 9 different parts. And behind each, how do you know how many books are there? But this computer vision capability of AI comes to the fore. It looks at the image, reads all these books, counts, not doesn't read. It makes a count. It reads the image, makes a count of the books, and gives the name of the book, and also tells me how many books are there. I have trained it in such a way that I've told it, if it is clear, if it is not clear, don't assume. Because this GenAI, it has a very bad habit. It hallucinates, it imagines. So what if it gave me wrong information? So I didn't want it to do that. I wanted it to be correct. So what did it do? It tells me, no, there aren't any ambiguous or unreadable piles of books here. This is what you get to see. So let's try another stock item, which is there on the display in some of the shops. Let's look at this. Something which all of us would like. When you look at this image, what do you see? It's nothing but perfumes on display in the store. Lifestyle or West Side. These are the perfumes on display. Now, this is beautifully taken stock. It says it falls under the category of perfumes, and it even reads each label and says Paris Corner is one label, which is the red pink. For us to identify, it's the red pink box. Upper middle row, there are 18. And Hermes one is got 17. And one other product from Hermes, which is H24. It's given us complete stock. And look at the beauty. There are certain things it does not identify as perfumes. It's not very clear. So it doesn't take a chance. It comes back and tells me, hey, you know what? There is a white with blue middle left. It doesn't know. It's not able to read it. These 2 items, I don't know. So this makes it easy for you or the assistant to go back and check what these are. The regular reliable stock counting is done. Only the anomalous ones, the exceptionals, need a little more detailed verification from your end. And if this has made you fall out of the chair, I don't know how many of you have thought of stock taking with this. I'll show you one more last example. I'm going to give one more image to it. I was curious. All these are labeled products. The books, perfumes. Then I also had a Ray-Ban glass image. I shared it. And it took stock and came back and gave me the right number. Okay. So curious. I was thinking, well, they're all labeled, so it's easy for you, right? GenAI, you can really do it. As an LLM, you're so well trained with your computer vision. So I wanted to test it further. I raised the bar. I wanted to raise the bar. I tested it one step further. I gave these are Indian carvings. Can you see? These are different carvings. So you see the Buddha here. Some are elephants in front, some are Ganeshas, different kinds of Buddhas. I gave this image and said, come on, do stock taking. Tall pillar sculptures. It's categorized them as wooden art handicrafts. And by the way, this categorization, I have told it to do. This classification, tabulation, and all that, it has to do for us. Once I give it a direction on how it has to work, it will do all this. It's given me complete count. And there is an ambiguous code. It says flat block carving, extreme right bottom shelf. Your photo wasn't good. It says your image was cropped. So I really don't know. I can't rely on this. So it's a bit confused here. Flat down below this image, can you see? It's not a full image. So it's not able to, this part, it's not able to read. And therefore it says, I'm not very clear on this. You may want to go back and check. That's the intent behind this classification. It comes back and says, hey, you know what, Aparna, go back and check on this. So I thought I will demonstrate this to you. If time permits, I could probably try one more image. Let's look at sunglasses. So I've uploaded an image of sunglasses on the shelf. Okay. And let's see what it does. It is able to identify that it's sunglasses and then gives the categorization, which brand is it and how many are there. So Boss count is so much, Calvin Klein count is so much. See the amount of time saving that has happened because of this. Time, effort, everything is done fatafat in no time at all. So this is the beauty of computer vision of GenAI. I'm not too sure how many of you are aware of the GPTs which the CA Institute has so beautifully crafted for us. Let's go see that. Okay. Before that, we'll check that out again. Let's see what Gemini has done for us. I said I wanted to see how it will look on my desktop. So when I click on my desktop, this is visible. And when I click on this mobile phone, can you see? It has shrunk. If you are using this tool on your mobile phone, this is how it will look. If you view it on your desktop, this is how it look. Suppose you want to create an app for your own self, for your own practice. Then you could, give a clear prompt instruction to either ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude. Come up with a usable prototype like this. Share it to your tech team or to whomever you're outsourcing your tech work. They will understand very clearly what your requirements are and they can work from there. That's the beauty of making use of LLMs for not only our work, but also for our clients. We can take on all this for our clients. You become, wear the hat of their business consultant and look at opportunities for them and do it. And they will really be very happy and appreciate you for doing this. So this is one use case. Now let me go again to CAGPT. Okay. So you can log in, give your membership number, and you will receive an OTP. I don't know where my mobile is. Once you log in into your account, you will get to see multiple GPTs on taxation. They are guides for you essentially. They are guides on taxation, income tax, on GST, on bank audits, multiple guidance on accounting standards. Everything is there for you to quickly check. What I will do is I will show to you one of that which I have had in my ChatGPT account. Okay, I don't seem to be having it. I'm sure all of you can do it yourself. It's simple and straightforward. You just go to this AICA website, give your mobile number, and then you're allowed in, you are let into a world of GPTs, which are absolute treasure for you to play around with. Gives you answers to so many things at the click of a button. I could pause here for questions, if any, before I move on. Would there be any questions? Would the moderators be looking for questions, or I could continue?
You can hear me, Aparna?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, there's one question. I'll just read it out.
Yep.
Will computer vision be able to do cache count based on image? The cache verification will be easy. So,
Yeah, that's a
anything
very
on
good question. That's a very good question. I mean, I never thought of this. Whoever asked, kudos to you. It should be possible. We saw that the books was being done, right? The books are being done. But how reliable is it going to be? I really don't know. I will come to the challenges that the GenAI world is currently facing with respect to when we come to the challenges part, we will address it. But technically, is this possible? Yeah, it is possible. You saw how it was reading, it was counting books one behind the other. For us, a human eye, we could only see one long list of books. We could not see the books behind it. Likewise, the cache should also be possible. But there are risks involved here because what if you, I mean, we've got to put on the CA audit angle. Suppose somebody puts a good note here in front and behind it's all papers cut to the same size. Aren't we taking a risk here? So when it comes to cash and something which is even more riskier, where the risk is pretty high, I will not do this. Even this verification of stocks, I would not recommend this to 100% stocks. When you don't need 100% accuracy, when these are lower, because today GenAI has not evolved to a stage of 100% accuracy. We will address those problems when we talk about challenges of GenAI. But technically, yes, it can count. So we've seen AIs or ChatGPT. Oh, no wonder my spelling was wrong. No wonder it said it's. So you can go to AICA's website and you have a treasure trove there, and don't miss it. Those of you who are still not aware of it, please go ahead and do that. Okay, before we go into challenges, my thing would be, would any of you want to try? I am demonstrating all of this to you because I am also a CA. I don't have technical background or knowledge at all. I started CA much earlier than most of you. So I didn't even have basic computer science being taught to me while I was in school or while doing my CA. Now I understand CA courses. They've got so much of advanced TTT, so many T's in some courses that you all are doing. I really don't know what all that is. So I'm demonstrating all this to you just to show to you that it's possible for me, definitely possible for you. Okay, so my purpose of having spoken to you all for the last 1 hour, I believe, would be served or completed if today one of you picked up one use case, one pain point of yours. Where is it? What is it that is taking a lot of time and frustrates you? But you believe this is how it is in our profession. I have to live with it. Can you find one use case and test it out, please? Very safely test it out. And before you jump into all of that, I would want to talk to you all about precautions that we'll have to take. What are the cautionary steps? All that we will look at. And ICA is always there. Please refer to it. ICA is far ahead of most of the accounting bodies in India when it comes to bringing in GenAI. Already level 1 AICA is done, and level 2 AICA course is already ready and rolled out. It's going at a very fast pace. So I would urge all of you who have not yet done the course to do it. I, for a lark, just did the course in December, and then I found out that I was more industry focused. But what am I doing for my profession? So that's when I said I will become a faculty. In fact, I'm learning. I'm coming back to Tally. I completely lost touch of accounting and accounting, books of accounts, and all that. So I'm coming back and learning all of that today. Now, coming to challenges. How much of time do I have? AI may hallucinate. This is one challenge. Hallucination is, see, they are not Gen AI or any AI is not a deterministic, especially Gen AI is not a deterministic model. It's a probabilistic model. Any apps that all of you are using today, let's say your banking app applications, you ask it, it will give you the correct information because it only goes to the database, checks the database and pulls out the relevant information. It looks at 2 to 3 different multiple data sources, brings it together and gives it to you. But whereas Gen AI has the capability to hallucinate because it generates new content. So it can give you content which is not at all in existence. It can come up with scenarios which you never even thought of. So we've got to be very careful. Okay, Aparna, you did such a good demo. You said Gen AI can do that, it can do this, but now you're telling me it can't, you can't trust it. Well, that's the truth. So then what do we do? It's important that we are into this thing called human in the loop. Gen AI can do it for you, but you've got to verify everything. And in the past, I've heard some of the people saying that it generates capital gains cases, which was never there. Because it generates answers from your questions. If you give it one direction, it'll hold on to your words. From there, it will generate answers. For example, if you say generate an image with an elephant in the room, it will generate an image of an elephant in the room. But if you told it to generate an image without an elephant, then it latches on to the word elephant and it may come up. It may still come up with an elephant. All of you can test it out and see. The model is getting trained and trained. I don't know if that's happening today, but I know earlier part of generative AI, especially in ChatGPT, it was giving images when we told it, don't generate image of an elephant. So this is an example to tell you that it can mislead you. So you've got to be very careful. Whatever content it gives you, you can't blindly download it and send it to your client. No, you read it, put on your CA hat, put on your thinking hat, do a review again and again, and then send it. So it cuts down at the time, but your review is very important. You would not send a juniors or apprentice article assistants content straight to your client, right? Same thing holds good. Because we can't, as CS, we are legally liable. So we can't take any chances here. And anonymizing data. Another important, I wish if I had time, I could show you how you can generate synthetic data. You want to work on an Excel file, it's got client sensitive information. You cannot upload it to any of these LLM tools. What is the option, Aparna? Change the names. Change the names completely. Keep a track record of it. Give it to any of the tools. It's got a very beautiful analysis capability, which is top notch. You go here, you upload a file, any Excel file, and then you ask it to analyze the data. And ask it first it'll give you predictively what you can predict, what you can understand, it'll give you. You don't even need macros. It'll do such a wonderful job. Then you say, no, give me interesting insights, which it never occurred to me. It'll give you. You can go on playing around with it in such a manner that it gives you beautiful answers from the Excel sheet. So that's one capability. So it's important to anonymize. And you could do one more thing as well. I can show you how to generate synthetic data. If time permits, I will do that. You've got to anonymize before loading. No, somebody asked me, can the GST circular has come for my client. I want to respond. I'll upload that. So I asked this person, would you put that circular notice which your client has received, would you put it up in your office notice board? He said, no. If you can't even put it in your office notice board, how can you upload it into an LLM? It's a big risk you're taking. You're exposing your client's confidential information. We have the DPDP Act, which is almost ready. It's not yet rolled out. So we could be held liable. So be very careful. And it shows bias. This being women members this thing, you ask any of you, as we speak, just go to any one of these LLMs and say, generate an image of a CA or generate an image of a doctor. What do you think you will get? A male doctor or a male CA? You will never get a female because it's biased. Why is it biased? Oh, it's a misogynist, doesn't like women. No, it's completely on past data. Past data, in the past, predominantly it was men who were doctors, predominantly it was men who were chartered accountants. The world is changing today. It's not yet trained for that. So there is bias and fairness is not there. In fact, Amazon had to drop one tool it had created where it was for recruitment. The tool was created. It was recruiting. It was only picking up male resumes and dropping off female because it was trained to look at male colleges names, male categories like the kind of games they play. It was picking up those resumes and dropping off women resumes completely because those women's colleges was not there on its database, on its trained model, not database, on its trained model. And this is very important. I can't tell you how important this is. Use it as a tool. Use it as a very smart intern who will do anything for you, but be very careful. You have to verify, corroborate, document all that, and then only send it out to the world outside. One last thing I would like to say. Take a look at this. And what is this bill? What is this invoice here? It's a bill. Is this okay? Is it incorrect or what? It's okay, right? If it came to your office, you would pass it, isn't it? This doesn't even exist. This entire invoice, this bill was generated by ChatGPT. Somebody gave such a good prompt to ChatGPT. They said, this is the name of the dhaba. Give this address. Make this invoice look crumpled. That's how people submit, right? And this was passed. And luckily, someone noticed the total was different, incorrect here, and this place doesn't exist. So these are the risks of generative AI. And this is just a prompt gone wrong, just in humor. And I think I've come to the end of my presentation. You could connect with me on LinkedIn. I would be very happy if all of you tried at least one use case for your work. And if you are stuck, you're not able to do it, take a photo of this. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I'm very happy to help you. Yeah, I am done within the time frame. I said I will show how to, we have 5 more minutes. I can show you how to generate synthetic data. Okay, let's go to ChatGPT. Generate. What is synthetic data? Synthetic data is nothing but data which mimics a real life situation. Okay, synthetic data for an chartered accountancy firm, I'll say. Having branches in 5 different cities. Let's say Noida, Pune, Bangalore. How much are given? 3. Mumbai, Surat, and Coimbatore, Chennai. Okay. Don't bother about spelling. The beauty of ChatGPT is it's very forgiving. It overlooks spelling errors, grammatical errors. So these days, I really don't bother to check any of that. See, I haven't even written branches here. Noida, have I given 5? Okay, right? The services are audit and assurance, tax, GST, filing, can I say? Company law, ROC, should I say ROC related? I really don't know. Corporate, I'll say corporate services. Audit and assurance, GST, corporate services, then consulting. Clientele include public limited companies, let's say schedule HUFs, LLPs, private limited companies, and let's say NGOs too. Generate revenue for the financial year 2024 to 2025. Let's see what it does. I would not have thought of all the factors, but once it generates data for you, why am I giving you this example? So that you can extrapolate this, use this in other scenarios for yourself or your own clients. Here it has given me how many rows. I can say include for more rows or whatever. So this is the revenue earned. So now that I have synthetic data, I can even add partners. I could add partners' names. So I'm just going to randomly given names. Tandon, Ra, Iyer, Ashwath. I'm just picking up names. Ashwath, Mohammed Hussain, RP Singh, Shweta, Sen. Okay. Now I can ask it. Give me revenue. So you can see, and then again I can say split it based upon the business. You can go on. So the synthetic data helps you to analyze it without sharing client confidential information. Then you can apply it on your real data. I think I'll stop sharing. Time is up. Okay. If there are any questions, I can take, or we can close the session.
Hi, ma'am. This is CA Pradnya Bam. So we do have a couple of questions. So if you allow, I would like to ask them.
Yeah, sure.
So the first question is that are there any privacy risk for CA related to any data used for analysis in AI, where one can get sued by a client?
Yeah, you have the DPDP Act, which is coming up, right? Similar to the GDPR. It's all ready and done, and it's going to get rolled out, right? So if I were you, I will definitely not upload a client's information. If it is your client is a public limited company, it's available on the public space. You can play. I can upload Reliance Industries annual reports. I can do all of that. But if it's a limited company, I definitely cannot share their financial information or any information to any of the GenAI agents because you get trained. I'll give you an example. Samsung hired all a team of techies because you know what they did? They uploaded the source code of one of the important product source code. So if you want, if you have the capability to really go and pull out from an LLM, you could probably take out Samsung's source code. And recently in Google, it was available. People who had private conversations, they thought they were in private mode with GenAI,
Hmm.
and they had a private, thinking they were having a private conversation. Google
Hmm.
search revealed the conversations of certain people. So if I were you, it's still a black box. If I were you, I will. That's why I gave you the example of synthetic data.
Hmm.
Whatever is there, your client's data, mimic it, change everything.
Hmm.
Test it out on ChatGPT because we want to tap into its analytical abilities, analyze it, and then come back and change the real names. That's my recommendation.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Other question is that where can I use AI in bill to cash process in GCC?
Oh, that's a very good question. Where can you use it? That's a very fun. Whoever asked this, I could answer this, okay? And this will take another 5-10 more minutes, but there is an easy option. You have something called an LLM. You have something called a ChatGPT GenAI. The same question you ask it for a GCC, get even more specific. Now, just begin your first question is same prompt, which whatever you asked me just now, put it in ChatGPT and ask it. It'll give you some vague answer, but not good enough. Then make it very specific. GCC in healthcare. It'll give you an output. You interact with it. You keep interacting with it till you get a beautiful outcome and see what you can develop from there. I want you to tap. This GenAI is so beautiful. You just have to have natural language speaking with it. You don't have to know code. That's why it's called NLP, natural language processing. You just communicate to it in English and it gives you back answers.
Hmm.
Sometimes you can use research mode or sometimes you can use the plain vanilla mode and get your answers.
Hmm.
Any questions that you have, people first ask ChatGPT before you come and ask us.
Okay. Ma'am, another question is, how would the amortization schedule be saved on desktop or mobile? And how to do testing of output? And if some errors are there, how can we modify it? Do we need to start from scratch?
That's a good question again. This is just to demonstrate to you the capability of writing code of the LLMs. I did this. If you want to test it out and create a real true blue app, what you do is you may not know coding. In that case, there are specific tools available in the market for coding. Replit, Cursor, Lovable, lots more. Or you could even use Gemini's CLI. I can show that to you as well. You give it the scenario, it'll develop the code for you and give it to you. If you are comfortable, mostly it'll be in Python or Java, you test it out. That's one. Otherwise, if you just want to play around with it and test your ability, you can ask it to give it to you code just in HTML, JavaScript, because it doesn't need any backend. Just copy paste the code and you will find the working functional mode on any one of your browsers. It could be Edge, it could be Chrome, or it could be any of them.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. On behalf of WIMESC committee, I would like to express my gratitude for you for taking this session today and making it successful. We are very glad that you've agreed to share all these interesting things about AI today with us, and I'm sure that this will definitely help the members. So thank you so much once again, ma'am, for such an enriching session.
Thanks, Pradnya. I
Yes.
hope people test it out today itself and use it in one case at
Yeah,
least.
yeah. Thank you so much. Next, I would request, next for session, we have Megha Shivkumar. She's a chartered accountant with over 15 years of experience as a seasoned financial leader. And she has work experience at ENY, Barclays, as head of finance at Stay Vista also. She's co-author of Born to Bloom, which is a book on thought leadership. And Megha ma'am will be sharing her insights on goal setting a skill that has shaped her resilient and impactful career. Looking her at overall her experience, I'm sure that we are going to have another one of the fantastic sessions on the topic. So thank you so much, ma'am, for taking out time and sharing your wisdom with members us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pradna. That was wonderful introduction, and I welcome all of you. It's going to be a transformational webinar for all of you. I will just quickly share my screen. Yeah, is it visible? Pradnya, is it visible to you?
Yeah, it's visible,
Yes,
Megha.
yes.
Okay, okay. Thanks, Krishma. Today's webinar or my session is on goal setting driven by purpose. So to start with, let's first understand what purpose means. And okay, one second. Yeah, why it is important to have purpose and what does it mean? So if we go by the literal dictionary meaning of purpose, it is your reason to act. It is the why behind your goals. So if we want to one second, I'm just facing some issue. One second. Is my screen still visible?
Yes.
Second. I can't see my entire screen.
Now it's not visible. Now we can just see you.
Yeah, one second. Yes. Yes, now it is, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry for that glitch. I was not able to see my own PPT. Yeah. So I gave you the reason, I gave you the definition of purpose. Now I want you to know that purpose also comes from a Latin word which means put forward to. It's about placing your intention ahead of you towards something for which you have conviction. So if I want to say, give you an example of what purpose could be, so when it could be a life without purpose could be a ship without a compass. So the ship will be moving, it will be moving ahead, but you don't know which direction it is moving towards. So purpose in life is something which gives you direction in life. Okay, now let's see what happens if there is absence of purpose. So multiple times we have set goals for ourselves. Sometimes we achieve those goals, so we feel elated and we feel very happy about it. And sometimes we are not able to achieve and we feel disappointed. Now, the very fact that we fail to achieve those goals make us believe that goal setting is waste of time. It is something that I shouldn't do because it doesn't work for me. So it creates a belief system within us saying that this exercise fails for me and I shouldn't be doing this. So this is one of the reason why we don't move ahead with setting goals. Another reason is lack of clarity. Now, if we want to achieve something and we want to achieve something really bad, we will always figure out a way on how do we want to achieve it. So knowing your why plus knowing your how is very important. A study by Dominican University, California found that writing down your goals makes you 42% more likely to achieve it. So whenever you write down your goal, there is a chance that you're going to achieve your goal. Third is lack of intention. So we have been speaking about purpose, and let me tell you how of achieving the goal is the simplest. But what is your strong reason? The why behind why you have set that goal is the most important question. If you don't have your own intention behind setting a goal, if you don't know the why behind setting the goal, then there are high chances that you may not be able to achieve it. Irrespective of how many processes you gather, how many tools and techniques you learn, unless you have a strong enough reason for setting the goal, it may fail. And including the session which we are going to have today, I'm going to take you through first having your knowing your why, the purpose, and then setting the goal. So 80% of the people don't even set goals for themselves, and those who do 90%, 92% of them do not even achieve because they don't have the intention clear. So these were the three main reasons why because of these absence of these, we lack in achieving the goals. Now I have 4 asks from all the participants here. One is, I want you all to have an intention that today after this webinar, we will be ready with at least one goal defined for us. And I want you all to keep a pen and paper handy because we are going to do that live in the class today. I know it's not very interactive session, but I'll try my best that I cover everything and leave no question in your mind. I want you all to be 100% focused because if you're able to do this successfully for at least one goal, I'm sure you will be able to set goals for yourself years coming ahead. I want you all to also be ready to learn fresh perspective. There could be a lot many things you already know or you've already heard about goals, but I want you to sit here with a fresh perspective and an open mind. I hope you all are ready with pen and paper. So another few points which I want you all to note. I know there's a lot of fuzz around having a resolution at the beginning of the year. You know, everybody sits in December end or Jan and prepare their goals for the year, and we are currently in August. So what we are going to do is we are going to start from August and we will decide our goals 12 months from now. So say August to next year July is what our time frame would be. We are not going to talk about short-term and long-term goals. We are not doing that. We are just talking about goals that we want to achieve in the next 12 months. There's going to be some part of theory in this session, and that theory is the process. So let me tell you, even in school, in colleges, the first thing that we learned has always been theory. After theory comes practice. And the more you practice, the more you become better at it. So let's go to the theory first, learn how we need to do that. And I'm going to put forward a lot many questions to you, which will make you think and you will get your answers. And then slowly we get into the process and set goal for yourself. So I've structured this webinar into 4 phases. First, I will tell you why goals fail. Then I'll take you through stages of change. Then I'll take you through essentials for goal setting, which will help you in determining your goal statement. And then I will take you through the process. Let's start with why goals fail. So the first reason, so there are 3 reasons I've listed down. First one is unrealistic ambition. So what happens is either we make it too easy for us or we make it too difficult for us. In either of the case, we are not able to achieve the goal. When it is too easy, we just get bored very easily. And when it's too hard, we feel like we don't want to just start. So we either delay in starting with that goal. So for example, I say that I want to go to gym 5 days a week. And I start with 5 days a week for a week. Then I do it 3 days a week. Then I do it 2 days a week. And I then just completely stop because I have never been a person who has done exercise. So going to gym for 5 days is something very difficult for me. So today we are going to focus on goals which are realistic. At the same time, they are ambitious. We are going to find a balance so that our goals don't fail. Second important reason why goal fail is lack of intrinsic motivation. So when you make statements like, I should go to gym. So you have a question mark, you're still contemplating whether you want to go to gym or you don't want to go to gym because you're using the word should. But if you use the word I want to go to gym, I want to be healthy, I want to have a work-life balance, I want to achieve this position by this after this many years. So this is how we will be phrasing our statement so that it gives this want to comes as a intrinsic motivation and not, when we are comparing to somebody else. And this reason has to be yours. Only then you will feel the I want to statement. The third is resistance to change. So whenever we set any goal, it takes you a step forward. and it gives you a different version of yourself once you have worked upon that goal. And when we are trying to change something, when we are trying to do something new, there is a resistance that we face. And in humans, this resistance is just very huge because it is something that you're not used to do it. And many of us quit when this resistance comes, and our mind will definitely try to give all kind of rationalizations and reasons of why we should not do some different activity altogether. And this is one of the main reason why goals or anything, any in the corporates also, anything, when there is a change, the resistance is to change among the employees, among the management, is the reason why the process fails. So 70% people who share their goals with their friends and families accomplished them, because then you create a support system for yourself. So this is one of the way um, how you can grow out of this resistance. Knowing the three reasons why goal fail, let's come to the stages of change. Now, I told you that resistance to change is one of the main reason why we're not able to achieve those goals. And this is the reason why I want you all to know these stages of change. Now, the first stage for change is pre-contemplation stage. In this stage, we are aware, we are considering that something needs to be changed. We know that the problem exists, but we are not aware of the consequences, or we are just ignorant of the consequences, or we are just in a denial mode. So something like eating outside food once in a day is okay. You consider it as okay. So you're ignorant about the consequences. So given that our profession we end up doing a lot of long working hours, there could be someone who says, I don't think my work hours impact my health. So in this stage, the person is not even aware that what are the consequences, or chooses to be ignorant of the consequences. So in a pre-contemplation stage, this is the mindset of the person. After pre-contemplation stage comes a contemplation stage. In this, the person is aware of the problem, the person knows that what are the consequences, and the person is weighing the pros and cons, and is weighing whether I should change or whether I should not change. So for example, the same person who works late night, now his statement would be, I know my late nights are unhealthy, but I have to work right now. I cannot change it. Okay. So the person has agreed or come to a point where he knows the consequences also, and he's still contemplating whether I should change my working hours or not. So pre-contemplation and then contemplation. Now comes preparation. At this stage, you have come to a conclusion that there is a problem. I'm aware of the problem. Now I need to prepare to solve the problem. So individual will take action, change their habits. And for this, the individual will plan what needs to be done. This planning will need a lot of commitment. This planning will need efforts from your side so that it gets you fruitful results. So now the same person who was working late night realized that the health is getting compromised, is now making a change by saying that I will not work beyond 7 p.m. twice a week because it's impacting my health. And I will also buy a planner to have a better time management. These are just two examples that I'm giving. There could be many. Now, at this stage, you have made a big plan that you're not going to work beyond 7 p.m. It's just twice a week, and you will do a proper time management. So this is the preparation stage. So we did pre-contemplation, contemplation, and now preparation. After preparation comes action. So you have decided, but you're not going to work beyond 7 p.m. twice a week, but you will have to do something for that. You will have to start denying for meetings that comes after 7 p.m. You will have to inform your manager, your bosses, your clients that you're not available after 7 p.m. So you actively implement your plan. And this also requires considerable amount of commitment and effort from your side, because you need to sustain the plan that you've created. You need to sustain the action that you've set for yourself. Now, what happens here is, suppose there is any, so the key challenge in implementing this plan is, suppose there is a client who says, please take it once time, I will not ask for the, this is very important, please take it this time. So you are not able to say no here, and you take it up, and then the shift triggers again, and you slip back into your old habit, and you start working late night. So 2-3 times it happens, then your old habit triggers and you continue doing that. So this is the key challenge in this stage. Now, so we did pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, and action. Now the fifth stage is maintenance. So once you've decided that after 7 p.m. you will not work, or you will work just twice, now is the challenge to maintain what you've committed to yourself. Now is the challenge to sustain this new habit. It's okay once in a while if that happens, but majority of the times you should be able to sustain this habit. And now when that particular CA, whose example we've been taking, is now able to work till 7 p.m. for consistently for 6 months, and now is able to spend family time or me time or time exercising. So this is how the time is, this is how it becomes sustainable, when you are sure that you have been doing that continuously for at least 6 months. Now, when we are looking at the stages of changes, let me tell you that this is not a linear path. So it is not that you will be at pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance, and it's done. It's not that way. It doesn't work that way. Many a times when you are preparing for yourself, preparing at stage 3, you will think and contemplate again whether what will happen if I ask my boss that I want to leave at 7 p.m. every day. You will start contemplating the pros and cons again, because when it comes to taking an action, it gets a little difficult. So you may come back to contemplation. Once you have already taken an action, you have been leaving the office by 7 p.m. But then again, the same kind of a judgment from outside that everybody is sitting late, but this person is leaving early. Again, you go back to contemplation stage. So you will keep coming back and forth in these 5 stages, and hence it's a cyclical stage and not a linear stage. So I'm giving you this information so that you are aware that this will happen, and you will go back and forth in these 5 stages. And it's a journey. So once you have gone to stage 3, stage 4, there will be some challenge. You will overcome that, go back to stage 4. There will be some challenge. You come back, then overcome that. And that way you will reach stage 5. Then you will be able to sustain it. So once you have overcome all the challenges on the way, you will be able to sustain that stage. Okay. Now, before we go to the next part of the session, I want you all to reflect. I want you all to reflect on the past and come up with at least one achievement. I want you to write it down, one achievement that has been part of your journey till now. And before you go back into the reflection mode, I want you to share one common remarkable achievement that all of us here share together, which is earning the title of Chartered Accountant. In the past, we have set a goal to achieve and to earn this title, and it was not by chance. We have planned our studies, we've decided when and how to prepare, and we have stayed committed to our plan. So it is not something which just happened. We have set a goal in the past and we have been able to successfully achieve it. Now, with this example, now I want you to pause and reflect. Pause and reflect on, for a minute, on 3 achievements from your past. I'm going to give you all 1 minute. Write it down. I want you all to write it down on your paper. The three achievements from your past. It could be anything related to your school. It could be anything in the recent past. It could be anything from your college, from your personal life. But I want you all to note it down. I'm just pausing here for a minute so that you can reflect well. Okay. Now, after you've written the 3 achievements from your past, I want you to go back to the time when you actually achieved it. And I want you to write down, how did you feel? How did you feel that time when you actually achieved something? And I want you all to write it down against the achievement that you have written. Write the feeling that you felt that moment when you achieved something. It could be a feeling of proud. It could be a feeling of achievement, accomplishment. It could be feeling more fulfilled. It could be feeling more confident. It could be anything. So I want you to write against your achievements 3 things, 3 achievements and 3 feelings that you felt that time. Okay. So this, now I'm going to share a golden mantra with you, and that golden mantra is, more than the goal, it's who you become or how you feel in the process of achieving the goal is important. So when you achieved something, you felt confident. When you felt proud, you felt accomplished. When you earned the title of chartered accountant, you felt that you were you have achieved a respectful title. So it is not the goal which is the high point. The high point of achieving something is what you become in the process of achieving that goal. And that's a beautiful journey that I'm going to take you through. So let's today first decide, who do we want to become? Where do I see myself 12 months from now? Do I see myself as a confident speaker? Do I see myself as earning be more confident? Sorry. Do I see myself as being more influential? Where do I see myself 12 months from now is what I want you to write down. I'm just pausing here for a few seconds for you to write down. Okay. So you want to become most influential, you want to become more disciplined, you want to become more confident person, you want to be emotionally mature person. So more than the achievement, the person you become is more important. And that is the why behind the goal setting exercise. Who do you want to become? What is the better version of yourself you want to see 12 months from now? Where do you see? So when you look back, like in August 26, when you look back at August 25 and the entire 1 year journey, you should feel proud of where you have come from where you were and where you are now. So who do you want to see yourself as? Okay, so we have concluded with 2 phases of our webinar. One is why goals fail. I've given you 3 reasons. Other is the stages of change. I've given you 5 stages of change, and you need to decide which stage you are on. If you're already doing the goal setting exercise, and if you're not doing, then while we are doing the goal setting exercise and while you reflect during the year, the stages will be useful to you. Now going to the essentials for goal setting, which is third part of our webinar today. Now, when you know what do you want to become, it's in itself a huge step, because you are coming from a place of ignorance to a place of awareness. From a place where you didn't know what you want to become and where do you see yourself in next 12 months, you have already become aware. So you are already from here a step ahead, because you've already visioned yourself as somebody after 12 months. So we are going to, before we go into the process of how to set goals, I want to give you certain essentials for goal setting, which will help you in preparing your goal statements, which are based on these 5 essentials for goal setting. First is physical. Physical means your body. Your body is something which stays with you for your life. No money, no friend, no other material possession stays with you for life, but this body does. And if you don't care for your body, it will become burden on you and for others. So our taking care of our body should be our first priority. And if you don't have this body, it is not even possible to enjoy any achievement that you've achieved. You won't be able to even enjoy it fully. It will not be meaningful if you are not in good health. So there are two parts in how you take care of a body. One is fitness and other is mindful eating. When I say fitness, it means going to the gym, doing some kind of exercise, keeping your body in a moving condition. And when I say mindful eating, I want you to realize that whenever you are eating something, whatever you are eating, I want you to have that awareness that what this food is going to do with my body. When I'm eating this food, whether it's going to provide my body with nutrition or not. If you think that way before putting anything in your mouth, I'm sure you will do or you will make a better choice of what you're eating. And that's what is called mindful eating, that you know the consequences of what's going within you. Now, when it comes to fitness and when it comes to age, I would like to give you one beautiful example here. So there are two types of age we can define. One is biological age and other is real age. Biological age is something that is our age in years from the day we took birth till now in calendar years, like we are 32, we are 35, like that. But real age is something which is based on how your body functions. So there could be somebody who is just 32, but the body doesn't function like 32, it functions like 50-year-old. Or there could be someone who's 80, but the body functions like a 50-year-old. So I recently saw a post of Deepak Chopra doing handstand, doing planks, and he's just near 80 years of age, but his body functions much better because he's taken care of the body. So, in the entire goal setting, your goal should also be on caring for yourself because it needs caring, and this should be a non negotiable. This goal should always be there in your goal setting list because this is the foundation for rest of the other goals. Next is your spiritual goal. Now, what is spiritual goal? Spiritual goal is something which connects you to yourself, which makes you more aware about yourself. It creates a boundary between you and the outside world, and it gives you space. It could be anything like doing meditation, going to a nature walk, or it could be just silently sitting somewhere and reading something. But there has to be a me time that you need to give yourself so that you disconnect from the distraction and you become more aware of yourself. When you become more aware of yourself, you start appreciating yourself. And when you start appreciating yourself, you appreciate others as well. So if somebody who is not able to appreciate self, how will that person appreciate others? So this is why having some spiritual practices or meditation or sitting silently somewhere or a nature walk or some me time, for somebody cooking is also a spiritual practice. So it depends on what you choose, but having one of these goals is also important. Next essential goal setting is financial. Now you need money for everything. If you want to enjoy something, you need money. If you want to help others, you need money. So finance is something which should always be there on your goal list. Now what areas from finance you want to select? It could be your how much you want to earn, it could be how much you want to save, it could be your investment plan, it could be your retirement plan. So this is another essential which I want you all to have on your goal list. Mental well-being. Now, this is very important one, and many of us don't pay attention to this, or we just ignore it because there are so many distractions in the outside world that we don't get enough time for this. Now, with mental well-being, what do I mean? With mental well-being, I mean your learning plan. Okay. Now, learning plan is not just for your career. Let me tell you, learning also makes you look more beautiful. Learning also makes you look young. And I will explain you how. So when you learn something new, there are new neurons that gets generated in your brain. When these neurons get generated, it increases your intelligent quotient. When that increases, your dopamine level also increases. When that increases, your enthusiasm increases, which leads to a better performance, which leads to a better result, and which again leads to increase in dopamine. So I hope you all are aware that dopamine is one of the happy hormones in our body, and whenever we feel good, we feel high level of dopamine in our body. So this cycle, learning helps us to increase the dopamine level, and which results in better performance, which results in better results, and then the dopamine cycle continues. And when this continues, the cycle reverses your age, and hence it keeps you look younger. Now, when I say learning plan, it could be anything. It could be technical, it could be non-technical, but you need to ensure that you are keeping yourself updated and you are keeping your brain actively involved in something. Now, next essential is, so let me just quickly go back. So first we did physical, second we did spiritual, third we did financial, fourth is mental well-being. And in mental well-being, okay, sorry, I skipped this one. In mental well-being, there's another angle to this. Now, it's just an example to explain you better. Now, when we were in school, when we were in colleges, there was a lot of reservoir of knowledge that was getting deposited in our brain by our teachers and by everybody surrounding us. Now, when we move out of college, we go to the outside world, we start working, we start using the knowledge that we have. And the more we use the knowledge, the more we implement what we have learned, the more we practice the knowledge that we've gained, the more our brain get used to doing that work. So it becomes like a routine for us. So for example, a teacher is teaching in a school and she teaches, for example, maths for a fourth grade, and she teaches that for 2-3 years continuously. Now, once she is taught for a year, she knows what are the examples to be given, what are the changes she needs to do. After a year, the subject is on the back of her mind. She doesn't need to now keep revising. She doesn't need to actually now use her brain further. She knows it by heart. So it has become a routine for us. And then she's just using 10% of her brain to deliver the lecture. This is how what happens with us when we move out and we stop learning. Our brain just get used by 10%. It is not efficiently and fully utilized. And when we start putting it new learnings into our brain, that is the time when the new neuron connection starts building. So while we are using the knowledge we have to ensure that we are also adding to that knowledge. And that's why learning is very important, which is directly associated with your mental well-being. Coming next to emotional well-being. Now, there was a Harvard study conducted for 85 years. This is the longest study conducted on happiness and well-being. The result of this study was that the quality of the relationships is the single biggest predictor of long-term health and happiness. So the quality of our relationships, why I'm stressing more on relationships is because relationship has direct impact on our emotion, on our happiness. So with good relationships during your entire life, very less chances of having illnesses like Alzheimer, dementia, or going into depression or loneliness. So for humans, friends and family are the people who give us this human touch. Beyond food, clothes, and shelter, this human touch, this love is something very important for us, which keeps us emotionally stable. So similar to how you nurture a plant, when you get a plant, you nurture that plant, right? You look after that plant, that it's getting enough sunlight, it's getting enough water. You shuffle the soil, you put some manure to the plant. You just not let it be, right? Similarly, in relationships, you have to nurture that relationship. Maybe with your parents, with your friends, with your child, or even with your professional colleagues, you have to put in some efforts on the relationships. So these were the five essentials for goal setting. And these five essentials are interconnected. You don't need to have one goal in each of these five. I'll tell you how it's interconnected. So for example, my health goal or my physical goal is to do yoga, okay, every day. Now I can plan my yoga in a way that I do it with my child, or I can plan that yoga in a way that I do it with my parent. Or for example, I want to spend my one of my goal is emotional. I want to spend some good quality time with my child. I can do some reading together, so it's also a part of learning goal, and it's also part of emotional goal. So this way the goals are always, they will always remain in some or the other way interconnected, and you don't have to worry so much that how I'm going to manage all of these goals together. So here we cover the three parts of our session today: why goals fail, changes, stage of changes, and essentials for goal setting. In between, you have also come up with your who do you want to become statement. And now this takes me further to the framework for goal setting. Now, before we go ahead into the framework, I want you all to select one from the five essentials of goal settings that we discussed. Pick one essential basis, like you can pick finance, that this is my priority and this is going to be my goal. So you can select finance. You can select in finance whether you're looking forward to savings. If you're looking forward to savings, then you will have to track your expenses. So you can have a goal of, I want to track my expenses. If you're looking forward to income, you can have a goal that I'm earning X amount, I want to earn 5X after 12 months. So I want you to pick up one essential and have something in mind that this is going to be my goal, because we are going to right now work on that goal. Step by step, I'm going to take you through the process. How much time do we have? Okay, we have some time. Okay. I'll just pause for just few seconds for you all to reflect. Okay. So let me take you to the framework for goal setting. I'm just displaying the steps here. So if you want to note it down, you can note it down too. So first, we decided on who I want to become. Second is, we have just picked up one essentials from the list and we are going to work on that. And then there are steps which I'm going to take you through so that we are very much ready with at least one goal for the next 12 months. Okay, so let's begin with the first step, which is purpose. Now in purpose, there are two parts. One is the current status. So for example, you are earning X amount and you have a goal to earn 5X. So your current status is X, and I want you to rate yourself. How do you rate yourself on the scale of 10, whether currently you are at 2, currently you are at 3, depending on what your goal is. So if you are saying 5x, maybe you are at 2 or 3 and you want to achieve 5x, that means you want to be on 9 and 10. Plus, I want you to think on the current stage at you are on the stages of change. So when you're saying you want to earn 5x, whether you are in a pre-contemplation stage, whether you are in a contemplation stage. See, I'm assuming that goal setting is not a new exercise for you, and we already have something in mind. It's just not documented and it's not in a structured way. And that's the reason there will definitely be a stage of change. You must be falling in some or the other stage. So I want you to think about that and write it down. Next, I want you to write down what is the future status you see yourself as. What 12 months from now? So we have already seen what do you want to become, but I want you to write what is the stage of change you want to achieve with that particular goal in next 12 months. So you want to be, so if you're at a contemplation stage, you plan to be, plan to prepare, then you plan to take action. So this is your goal, that I will take some action on this. Maybe sustaining that action currently may be not your goal. Maybe you want to do it 12 months later. But I want you to figure that out at what stage you want to reach and write it down. And then rate yourself again that I'm at 2 or 3 and I will reach 8, maybe probably 8 if it's not the final stage. And I want you to be challenging here. Don't make very simplistic goals. Be a little more ambitious. Challenge yourself. Don't play small here, because this is where growth lies. This is the 12 months where the growth will lie, and where I'm sure you will grow, because we are going to do it in that way. So here, from who I am and where I am, we are going to who I want to become and where I want to be 12 months from now. Okay, so now we have defined the first step, which is purpose, current status, and future status. Now, actionables. Now, I want you all to divide your goal into sub goals. Okay, I'll give you examples. So, for example, I want to be at a CFO position, assuming that I'm currently at some senior level position or mid management level. I want to be a CFO in the next 12 months. I want to reach that position. Now, to be a CFO, what is it that I'm going to do in 12 months that will lead me to that position? So those 1, 2, 3 items would be your sub goals. So being a CFO is your main goal, but 3 items that you're going to do, 3 things that you're going to follow during the 12 months becomes your sub goal. Write it down, please. Now, once you have written that down, there are 2 kinds of change that will happen. Okay, you need to identify which kind of change you need to undergo. Maybe it's both or it's just one to become or to reach at that level. One is skill set change, one is mindset change. Skill set is where you want to learn something new on your skills, and mindset is something where you want to have a shift in your belief system, where you want to, so for example, you feel that you're not worthy at all to be a CFO. Then how will you reach CFO? Even if you gain all the skills, inside you feel that you are not capable. So you need to bring that mindset change also along with the skills that you need to become a CFO. So in few of you, you may not need mindset change, you may not need skill set change, but in few cases you may need both or either or. So you need to identify where you are and what is the change that you need, skill set or mindset or both. Now, just to give you a few more examples of mindset, limiting belief. When we say limiting belief, when we say I'm not worthy enough, I want you to also think of an empowering belief. Empowering belief in the sense, if I'm saying I'm not worthy enough, I write a statement that I am capable and worthy to be a CFO. Be very specific to be what. If the more you are specific with your empowering belief, the more it work wonders for you. Okay. So you need to come out of that belief, limiting belief, and make it empowering belief. Now, people with limiting belief also have a fixed mindset. Fixed mindset is, I know everything, I don't need to change. But growth mindset is, okay, I know this much, but I need to learn more, gain more understanding, and upskill myself. That is growth mindset. I'm just pausing in between so that you will have time to write it down. Now, once you have divided your goals into sub goals, and once you've identified whether it's a skill set change or a mindset change, or you need both of it, the next step is, and you have also divided your goals into sub goals. The next, you need to think how much time, effort, and money each sub goal will require. Now, giving the same example that I want to be CFO next year, by next year, in next 12 months, what are the things I will do? So I've just given some random examples which came to me. I will build on my networking. I will network with people. I want to improve my communication. I will read 30 minutes to improve my technical skills. Now, if you want to build networking, what is the time, effort, and money you need on building the networking? You definitely need time because you will have to speak to people. You will definitely need effort because you will have to find out people. Whom do I talk to? Okay, you may even need money if you're going to some event. You may need to buy the event pass, networking event you may want to go and improve your networking. So you need all three: time, effort, and money. Now I want to improve my communication skills. For communication skills, definitely there is going to be time and effort into that. Plus, if you're looking forward to join some course, you will need money for that. So you will have to decide how much time, how much effort, how much money do I need. I will read 30 minutes to improve my technical skills. Now, this doesn't require money. This requires time and effort. So this you have to decide on your own how much time, effort, money you will need. When you decide this, you need to ensure that you do have that much of time, effort, and money to put in. Now, if you're planning to become a CFO and you have a 12 months period, and you want to do a communication course, for example, because you think you need to improve your communication to reach at that level. Now, you know that you already have a workload for another 3 months, okay? And you're not able to give time to this communication course. So I don't want you to pick up communication as your sub goal immediately. You pick up that goal after 3 months once you have enough time. And this is the reason why I'm asking you to decide whether you have the time, money, or effort. Because if you don't have the time, you put this goal on your goal list and then you're not able to do it, you will go back to the belief system and your goal will fail. And you will create a belief that goals fail. That's why I want you to put in time to decide and plan appropriately. I don't want you to just jumpstart with something when you know that you don't have that much of time for the communication course. Okay. Now, what mindset change here you can bring in? You can have an affirmation statement: I'm valued and I'm worthy of being a CFO. So this is the mindset change that you can have. So we just finished with actionable. So actionable, you need to divide into sub goals. After dividing into sub goals, you think about what kind of skill set or mindset change you need. Then you see whether you have time, effort, and money for all your sub goals. Take up only those where you can give in your 100%. Don't take up the remaining. Now, next is continuous process. Now, you have made the goal, you have decided the time, money, effort that it needs, you have planned everything properly, and you have initiated with that plan. Now, I would like to give you one example, one very personal example here. One of my goal at the beginning of this year was to prepare myself for the position of independent directors with corporates. When I decided this, one of my goal was to network with other independent directors who are currently serving the board of independent directors. While I was speaking to few independent directors, from some I got positive perspective and from some I got negative perspective. And when I got negative perspective, there was a huge gap between what I was expecting from the role and what the role actually gives me. And I was going into a mode of believing that this goal is not meant for me. This goal, I have to remove this goal from the list. This is not meant for me. So instead of doing that, I removed that sub goal of networking with independent directors. And I went ahead in finding a mentor for myself. A mentor, a person who has mentored some independent director and who can mentor me now. So that person was mentored so many independent directors would definitely have all the perspective and will be able to give me the right perspective and guide me correctly. So it's not necessary to drop the goal immediately. Think why it is not working for you, and that reflection comes when you do this reflection exercise, which is step 3 of our process. So you may have to modify your goals, which I did. So once you reflect, you may again go back to the stage of change and think on your contemplation mode. You have taken the action, but now you're going back to contemplation mode. So this step will help you in understanding, in modifying your goals. And when you are modifying that, please remember, who do you want to become? That was the main statement that we had. Whether your goals are aligning with whom do you want to become, whether your goals are in alignment with your value. Before dropping anything or modifying your goals, you need to have these 2 questions in your mind. So we are done with continuous reflection. Now tracking your goal. So I've made this small Excel or a table for you. So I can give you how you can track your goal in a simple and tangible way. You can create this in your Excel. So your first goal, so here I've taken a goal of I want to lose 2 kgs in 2 months. What are the sub goals for that? I will exercise daily. I will not eat junk food. And the mindset changes. I can lose weight. I am healthy. Now your daily task for this is I will walk 5,000 steps daily. I will not, or I will eat junk food only once a week. And the affirmation statement that I'm healthy, I can lose weight easily. I will be writing that affirmation statement daily. So you can have a tracker like this. This is how you can monitor your goal and you will know where you slipped. So just for example, I've written 13th is done, 14th I missed, I've walked only 4,000 steps, 15th is done. Then eat junk food, I ate junk food because I had office gathering. So don't be very rigid. If I have to do, I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to eat. Don't be very rigid, because when you get very rigid, there is no space for you to be flexible. Be flexible will make you feel that, oh God, this is too tough for me. If you're not flexible, it will make you feel that this is too tough for me, and that leads to failure of goal. So I don't want that to happen. So be a little flexible, but not too easy either. So remember, we need to be realistic as well as ambitious. Writing affirmation statement will help in changing your mindset. There's another example. So this I've already given the example. I want to be CFO in the next 2 years. Then what will I do? I will improve my communication skill. I will join the course, whether I've done that or not. 30 minutes of daily learning, whether I'm doing or not. My mindset is, affirmation is, I'm valued what I'm worthy of. So you can maintain a tracker this way. Relook at the tracker every month, possible every week. Every weekend activity is to look at the tracker and see where you slipped and whether you are going in somewhere where it's not matching with what you want to become. Then relook at the tracker, relook at it and improvise on that. So we finished 4 steps for setting the goal. First was purpose, where we saw the future and current status of our goal. Second was actionable, where we divided our goals. We saw the skill set, mindset, and then we saw time, money, and effort that goes into it. Then continuous reflection, then tracking. Tracking needs to be sustainable. Yes, I missed this. Tracking has to be, so when you are saying that you want to achieve something, you can't achieve it until it is sustainable. So tracking is very important. You know where you are slipping down. Now, I think I will skip this because we are short of time. This is something which I must have spoken somewhere already in the session. Okay. This important point I want to focus upon. So I'll take this slide. Accountability partner. Now what happens is many a times we lack discipline ourselves. So we cheat ourselves. It's okay. Rationalization by brain happens every time and we think it's okay. And we then slip and lose the action that we were supposed to take and lose the consistency that we wanted to have to make that goal sustainable. So for this, there is one option available, which is accountability partner. Find somebody whose goals match with your goals. And this is very important, because if you find somebody whose goals doesn't match or who is not as ambitious as you are, then this is not going to work. So for example, I want to go to gym. Now, if my accountability partner is somebody who's already going to the gym, or is somebody who wants to start to the going to the gym, then that will give me motivation. If it's somebody who's already going to the gym since 1 year, then that person will talk like somebody who will talk only positive about what happens if you go to the gym. But if you are having an accountability partner who's somebody who doesn't go to the gym, then that person will give you reasons like, it's okay, sleep for 1 day, what happens? Nothing happens. It's okay to eat this. So I want you to choose your accountability partner very wisely, because you need somebody who will motivate you and not demotivate you. That accountability partner should review what you have done. So this tracker should be reviewed by that accountability partner and should give you suggestions also. And if you don't find any accountability partner, you can connect with me. I'll be happy to be your accountability partner. But the goals should match. Okay. Another skill which I want to use is kill the frog technique. What happens? I want to go to gym, but my mind gives me a rationalization that today there's a lot of work. Let's not go to gym. Okay. It's giving me that rationalization. Now what I do? This rationalization will keep coming. That's the resistance to change, that your mind will keep giving you reasons. So what you need to do then? You need to go to the gym first thing in the morning. Before your mind even gives you the reason, go to the gym, finish it off. So that's what's called kill the frog technique. Another technique you can use is reward consequences mechanism. Punish yourself. So for example, you have allowed yourself to eat junk only once a week and you ate twice a week. Put 100 rupees in a piggy bank. That's a punishment for yourself. And don't link that punishment to a good cause, because then it will not keep you motivated. So if you're putting 100 rupees, don't attach a good cause or feel good factor to that I will donate this money. Just keep putting 100 rupees in the piggy bank. Or you can have a punishment that I will not take vacation until I have been sustained for this habit for 6 months. I will not take any vacation. So this is a reward consequences technique that you can put forward for yourself. Something which you love to do becomes your punishment. Okay, so we've covered the entire 4 for the session. So I hope that you have written down all the steps, the 4 steps that I've given you, and you have come up with one goal for yourself. There is one more technique of SMART goal technique, wherein you specify your goal. It has to be measurable, it has to be relevant, it has to be time bound, all of that. It's very easily available and it's a very common technique used by all. But I want you to use that technique only in defining your goal and nowhere else. Okay. If somebody could help me with if there are any Q&As. Grishma, are there
Yeah,
any
just a
questions?
second. No, there are not any questions, Megha, over here, but I would actually want to understand from you. Actually, my one main thing was to ask is about the accountability partner only. I was about to ask you the question is, in case if we are not able to, fulfill our goals or, not reach to that particular aspect, then how do we measure ourselves against it? So, and that's when you came about on the accountability partner. You covered it in the last end, saying, there has to be an accountability partner. So I was just about to ask the question when that slide actually came up.
Okay,
So,
yeah, that's what I said in the beginning. I will try to cover every possible question so that we don't have anything and you take it, because I think we are very short of time currently.
Yeah.
If there are no questions, then I would suggest you all to share some feedback. I am going to share my email and my LinkedIn profile here. So you can note it down and you can share your feedback directly to me. If you're looking for accountability partner, you can send me an email. I will reply you for sure. And lastly, I want... Sorry.
Both the examples which you have, cited, whether being the CFO as well as the fitness thing, so both the things I'm doing, both the things I'm tracking. But somewhere down the line, so I felt this was an apt session for me actually, because it was resonating with what I was thinking, you know.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so if you have noted down, then thank you so much. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my mentors, coach, and for the divine presence because of the grace. I would like to thank ICAI for giving me this opportunity to share what I have learned in my journey of goal setting, and to all of you for your presence and time. And I hope I was helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, thank you, Megha. Actually, it was really a good session. I mentioned it already. It was a session which was meant for me, I feel. So thank you so much. I believe there might be, you know, people who will be going through these sessions, which will help them in at least taking the first step in setting their goals. Always we set the
Yes.
goals, but to set and achieve it is a thing. So when you've given a small steps, like even if you achieve a small step, it's like seeing a newer self to you. It's like
Yes.
discovering yourself. So it's a very good
Yes.
session. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
And
I
thank
missed
you, ICI.
adding one thing, which I just realized. So you have to ensure that you are looking at the efforts that you're taking
Correct.
in achieving that goal. You know,
Correct.
results is something that will come. But
Follow.
if you're putting that effort, then don't put yourself down that I'm not doing anything. You're
Correct.
already doing it. The results will appear. So just focus on the efforts.
Correct. Sooner or later it will appear. So I agree.
Yes.
And thank you so much, you know, to help us at least go through a structured format, which gives, you know, framework. Okay, I have to do this and then this. I don't have to, do the long-term planning. I just have to meet the short-term goals and then automatically I will reach my path. So thank you so much. And thank you, ICI, for giving us an opportunity to hold this session also. I thank the team also behind this to schedule such a session.
Yeah. Can we leave the session now?
Yeah, I think Jaideep, are we okay? Megha, I'll connect personally with you. So.
Sure, no worries. Yes, anytime. Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Jaideep, we can leave?
Yes, ma'am, you can.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.